I guess you said you could get attracted to me based on
Well, yes, but that's
confidence I
thing.
bring
If
to
you
the
really
table.
just
Bro, when is the last time you've heard of free lap dances in a strip club?
free.
No,
You got some quantum computer ass
Then-
shit, and you're trying to gaslight me right now.
no.
Oh, green pickle, just forget about it and fuck me.
Okay.
If I was a woman for a day,
Hmm.
I would flirt with a man and do that. That would be the one. That would be the one thing I'd want to do the entire day. People
Why?
are like, look at titties.
No,
Like,
but okay.
people
okay.
are like, men are like, oh, I look at my titty, whatever, in the mirror. No,
Sure,
no, no,
those
no,
are
no.
based answers.
Like, yeah, but
But explain your.
the Debbie Ryan,
yeah.
the Debbie Ryan to a man. I just want to know from a male perspective,
Okay.
right? Like just to the general man,
Uh-huh.
what does that feel like?
But you won't know what it feels like. You're
No,
the
but
one
I'd
doing
be
the
able
hair
to-
flick.
Well, from a woman's point of view, what does that feel like? And also, I'd be able to read the guy's expression.
But the thing is,
you know?
you'd be faking it. So you
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah,
know the
yeah,
woman's
yeah, yeah,
perspective.
yeah.
You wouldn't even get the man's perspective. You just be flirting with the dude.
Like, what would it feel like to do the?
Oh, the hair flick.
Yeah, what would the physical sensation?
Oh,
be
just
like?
grow your hair up, bro. What the fuck?
No, because you can't. It doesn't. It's not the same.
Fine, wear a
thing.
wig.
And I don't think. Okay, and also, I really don't think that's possible for me anymore.
No, wear a wig. That will give you the same
You
like.
know why? No. You know why?
Yeah.
I feel like it's a different sensation when you know
It's your hair.
it's your hair and
I
it's
see.
growing through your scalp.
I don't think that's
You
even
know?
worth it.
And also, while I wouldn't know exactly what the man's thinking,
Mm.
I'd be able to read their expressions. Would they be weirded out? Would they be like,
See,
oh,
what
I'm
I
feeling
would
some
do
type of way,
was,
you know?
if I turned into a girl, I'd flirt with a homie, and then
Oh,
get them to tell
damn.
me what it felt like when I flicked my hair. What did they feel?
Because it's a homie though. It's a homie.
Yeah, but they won't know. They won't know.
Oh, you're thinking you're turning a girl. And
I
you
turn
won't
into a
tell
girl.
anyone.
I don't even I don't tell them anything. They kind of they're unassuming.
Nah.
I set it up in a way where I kind of pass by them on the street and just strike up a conversation, and they're just gonna be like,
What if you knocked on the door or you came home
yeah,
and introduced yourself as like your friend as a male,
yeah,
and I started chatting you up?
yeah, yeah.
What would you do?
I'd flick my hair back, and then I'll be like, what
I'm saying. What would you do? What would you do?
If you started chatting me up,
Yeah.
I'd go along with it.
No.
I think
But like, do you think I'd have game?
Well, I don't know.
No,
I'd have to
but just
see
based
you
on
in
what
action.
You know of me, do you think I'd have game?
Do you? See, what you're really asking me is, would I feel rizzed up by you if you were to chat me up?
Obviously, I'm asking you that.
No,
yeah. Why?
because I know you.
But
I'm not
saying-
changing how my
saying-
brain isn't changing.
I'm saying though.
Okay,
Well, maybe it is for that day. You
so that
think,
day
like,
my chemistry changes
Yeah.
and suddenly
you're attracted to guys. Can you imagine that?
okay.
So
If you
I
then
rizzed
happen
you
to
up-
be my type, I don't know how my brain chemistry would change. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Would you feel rizzed up by me? As in, do you think I would have good game on you?
That's the thing. Like, if I don't find you attractive, no matter how good your game is, I'm not getting rizzed up. You get what I mean?
That's the thing. But you can still appreciate a good line.
But it's a different type of appreciation. It's like that was good. I wish someone I was attracted to said that. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair
So
enough.
it's like, you good, but try that on someone else, not me.
Fair, yeah.
Yeah.
So honestly, I'm different. So if you rizz me up, sorry, I don't know why that took me so long to get there. But if you rizz me up
Yeah.
and you were a woman in this house, you could, if I wasn't attracted to you at first, you could flip that.
I could flip
You
that.
could flip it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You could flip it.
Okay.
Because
Yeah, I don't
really,
think.
I think a quality of attractiveness is in a woman, especially for me personally, is confidence. So if you just came in with the riz,
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Damn, shawty, what you trying to do?"
Okay. That's, yeah, you
However-
know.
However, if that ever happened to you, please
Yeah.
do not think of that as an invitation to come and try that one.
No.
Because it's not.
I'm like, all right, this is, we taking it all the way now. Oh, thank you for this sign.
Please tell me that you.
I just start
You turn
telling
into
you
a
how
woman.
all the things I'm about to do to you.
That's crazy.
How far would you let it go before you're like, yo, it's me?
What do you mean?
As in,
if I
like,
was a
if,
woman.
if you were the woman, where would you draw the line? You'd be like, okay,
Until
we're
you
pushing
actually
it.
were like trying to make a move on me, and then I'll be like, no.
Well, what do you mean make a move? Like physically, or just like even the way I'm talking?
No. I'd let you talk.
Okay.
The minute you try to be physical with me, I'll be like, hey, it's me, bro.
Yeah. That's
just
true.
just because it's
That's
my
true.
only opportunity.
Yeah.
We don't really prank each other like that.
No,
right?
no, that's
we don't
true.
do that. I think it's because we don't do that. If we were to do it,
This would be
it
the extent we
Yeah.
could go.
also, if I were to just prank you now,
Yeah.
I think you might actually take it personally because I never prank you. You know, in the sense of like
Prank
you
in
wouldn't-
what way? I guess.
You wouldn't recognize it as a prank at first because you're like, he never pranks me, so he must mean this.
Ah,
you know?
right. That's true. That's true. But
So-
in a way, that's the essence of a prank. It's like when you go and do it to someone that has no idea you're about to
But
do it to.
you have to set a precedent that you're the type that will prank. So when you
No,
reveal
I'm
it
saying
as a
like
prank-
the type of pranks that people. I mean, a lot of it's fake, but like the type of pranks people do in public. You
Yeah.
go to a random person that has no like history of what kind of person you are.
Yes, but it's almost easier then to prank somebody if you go to a person that you don't know because they don't have any preconceived notion of you. They don't have anything to sort of base your personality off of. They don't have
Yeah.
any prior experience of you. As
I
a
guess
person.
so. I
So
guess
when you
so.
do some fun, like some prank shit, and then say it's a prank,
Yeah.
they immediately that's their first impression that registered. This guy's pranking
He's
me.
a prankster.
and either it's negative or positive based on the prank. But then with me, it's like, oh, I already know you, and you're not the type to prank me. Meaning, whatever you're doing, must
Just
be
feels hostile.
Yeah, it literally would, right?
Yeah, that's
So-
true. That's true. Yeah.
So, the only time I take the opportunity to fully go all the way and prank you is if I turn into a woman. So I would let it go
As
as
far
far
as-
as it could
yeah,
until
yeah,
I was
same.
like, yo, I'm not trying to
Same.
do this.
I think I'd lead it up to the bedroom.
I
I think that's where I draw the line.
I'd lead up to marriage. I'd be like, bro, hey, it's me the whole
Yeah.
time. Ah!
It's straight. Let me hit. And then,
We're
And then-
gonna together be like, hey, you ever wondered where?
it gets to marriage. By that time, you're in love with me. You just don't say anything.
No. It's like one day you piss me off. I'm like, hey, you ever wondered where your podcast co-host went? You ever wondered why that shit ended? Huh? It's
Well-
because it was me the whole time.
Whole time, like leading up to that, I'm telling you, like, bro, my best friend just disappeared all of a sudden. Like,
And it's
I don't know where he's
and
gone.
Then the whole basis of our entire relationship is I was there for you. during
Yeah,
that
yeah,
time.
exactly. I owe you this huge debt. Like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, bro, you were so you're
You were there
real.
for
You
me
stuck
and-
with me when I
yeah.
was lost.
whole time.
Oh my god.
And the way I reveal it to you is one day I've just set up the podcast equipment as my female self, and
And
just
you're
come
like,
like,
welcome back, guy.
today I'm revealing to my friend that it was really me who's been fucking me the
Yeah.
entire time.
Here we have one male, one undercover male.
What would your reaction be to that? Your genuine reaction.
I think
If we'd been married for 20 years and this entire time
I don't even know. I think I might get suicidal.
that's crazy.
I think
That would be a crazy prank. Yeah,
it
I
would
can't
be.
lie.
No, to
would-
get it to
in-
that point
in
is like
itself,
evil.
That would be
That's evil.
a film worthy kind of. That's something you'd see in like a really psychological horror film that would come out. You know,
Yeah.
like nowadays from some like really niche director.
I feel like either
M.
that-
M.
yeah.
Night Shyamalan type.
Yeah, like A24 type
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Or they could go in the complete opposite direction, make it a comedy. It's just like a fucking slapstick dumb
Yeah.
comedy where they just play on this bit.
Yeah.
It's like 17 again almost.
Yeah,
you know?
that would be good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be good. But I feel like it would work more as a horror because low key,
It would. No, you can the trauma you can bring with it.
Yes, and low key, there's definitely an element of of like evil play. There,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
You
like
could take it
yeah.
far.
Yeah, yeah.
You could take it far, but that would be crazy.
But then, would you continue to?
What, stay?
Yeah.
Once you
Curious.
told me
Yeah. What's
that it's my bro all along.
Yeah, because imagine, right?
Yeah.
You've developed feelings for me.
I see. Okay. You know, there is a movie kind of similar to this. Kind of. It's
No
not
way.
it's not Friends, but it's a oldish Korean movie called Old Boy.
Oh yes, yeah. I've seen.
It's
Oldboy,
similar.
Yeah. So I've actually watched the Western rendition they did of it, which is apparently loads of people said it was really bad.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it, but
So you didn't watch the original?
No, but I think now I do want to watch the original.
But I'm guessing the twist is the same, right? Spoilers.
exactly
the fucking
the same.
movie's been for ages, but he basically fucks his own daughter
Yeah. It's very
and falls in love with her.
Yeah.
Or well, both of them fall in love with each other.
Yes.
So I guess it's similar in that sense, where I think the ending of the movie kind of goes over the fact that like the connection that they had of love was deeper than their relation, or it had gotten to the point where they weren't seeing each other as like, or maybe I'm misremembering. I think he does see her as a daughter after that point. Like he doesn't go back to just piping her. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You were trying to use that to justify your point.
yeah. I was like,
so the reason I would pipe.
No. I was trying to see the other side, but like me personally, no, I wouldn't.
Okay.
I think it'd be too hard to go back to just
To be honest,
how things were.
Immediately the minute I'd find out, I think
it's like over.
Everything I'd feel would just go down the drain.
Yeah, it's done. It's done.
It's
But it's crazy if we had kids together.
Yeah, that's why.
If we had kids,
That
you
would
can
still
never tell me, bro. That's the prank. That's the prank.
But then, okay, at that point, what if like you were literally at death and I told you? Yeah, I was like, I have to tell you the truth before you die.
Damn, you're really fucking up my death.
No, but like you probably wouldn't care at that point.
No, bro. What do you
dying
mean?
would be way more concerned to you.
Because you got to think about the fact that people are so afraid at the point of dying.
Yeah.
About what happens after.
Okay. What about if I was gonna die and I told you before I died? It wouldn't matter then.
Yeah, I guess not.
I mean, it would matter. Obviously.
It matters, but less.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just kill you faster at that point. I'm like, all right, bro, you gotta go now.
But what if like no, at the point of death is like I was literally a minute away from dying.
Me.
Oh, you would have bleeped that out.
Yeah. It's like, it's me. Then you just fucking flatline. Oh,
what a first segment.
What a first segment.
What a first segment.
Would you pipe your bro is basically what we talked about. And
Oh,
the answer is yes.
We added steps.
The answer is yes, we would. Because we clearly let it go to the point of marriage and having kids. So you know,
that's based on many conditions.
Sure.
We'd have to be attracted to the person.
Yeah.
The riz would
Well,
have
but
to
I guess
work,
you said you
everything.
could get attracted to me based on.
Well, yes, but that's
confidence
the
I
thing.
bring
If
to
you
the
really
table.
Just weren't my type. I don't think I could.
Yeah.
know?
Exactly.
You were like far from my type.
Yeah.
Like too far. And I was like,
But the hair to the side or hair twirling.
yeah,
Hair twirling as well.
hair twirling. That would kind of get me.
That was one of the
Yeah.
first signs I learned, like just through online shit. Like, oh, if a girl twirls her hair around you, she's like.
That sounds like some dark psychology shit.
It does. It does.
You know,
like back then, I gave it a lot of credit because
I
it was
see,
so
I
rare
see.
to see.
Yeah,
So I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
if someone's doing that, then they gotta.
And now you kind of know it's so rare because that's not a real thing.
Yeah,
that people
nobody
do.
fucking does that shit.
Nobody twirls.
And
their hair when
I've
they
seen
like
people twirling it like they just got ADHD. You know, they
Yeah,
just need
gotta
something to do
Yeah, exactly.
with their hands.
Yeah.
So,
However, if someone were to genuinely twirl their hair, I think because I've grown up on that kind of media where that's what
it like symbolizes.
yeah, that's what it kind of symbolizes, like this adoration for the other person.
Yeah.
It would get me feeling some type of way if we both liked each other. You know?
Yeah.
Only in that situation.
I guess, yeah.
You know?
I mean, but at that point, like,
At that point,
I'm sure a lot of things have aligned.
Exactly. Yeah, you know, it would only matter if the woman already liked me.
Yeah.
Right. And
So,
the same
ladies, let
thing-
us know
yeah.
if do you guys do that? Do you guys like twirl your hair
Yeah.
or like play around with your hair in
if
general.
if anyone out there,
Yeah.
if anybody out
If
there
you fuck with a man's.
actually genuinely does that when they fuck with a dude, please come on the podcast. We would love to interview you.
What else was on the docket? I think I actually saved something in our
In our joint one?
joint MYT. Yes.
Okay, let's take a look.
Let's take a
There,
look.
there was stuff I wanted to talk about where we can circle back.
Damn, circle back. Like, you're already getting
Very
ready
cool.
for corporate lingo. It's the end of the
Yes,
Easter
sir.
weekend and we go back to work tomorrow. So
Yeah. What was it? This one?
yes.
Okay.
Yes. What is let's fucking talk about this.
All right. This is a post, I guess, that says, "Did you know that Dragon Ball Super?"
Oh, hold on.
Okay.
Let's cut this out. Let's give them some context first. Okay.
Fine.
I wanted to touch on just the significance of Dragon Ball throughout history, specifically in Mexico. Okay, and I think you
Yes.
know about this as
Yeah,
well.
I do.
When Dragon Ball Super
It's a huge thing.
aired in Mexico, people were literally going to bars to celebrate Goku turning
Ultra Instinct.
Ultra Instinct. They were cheering.
Mm-hmm.
The significance Dragon Ball Super has on Mexican culture. One day, I will make a video essay about it and release it on YouTube. One day I will do that because I am that interested on how, just geographically, how like Dragon Ball had such a large influence specifically there.
Yeah.
Was it airing times? Was it some type? Did it air at the same time as another show? Did they strategically kind of like put it there so that people would tune in after the show, so they
I
always
do
associate
remember.
it with that?
I think there was a video essay. I'm sure there are plenty, but
I'll go Mexico. Mexico to ask people about their love for Dragon Ball.
I did watch a video essay on it briefly, and I think they just said like it was just a popular kids TV show at the time.
Right.
Like on the main kid cartoon channel, they would air that.
But I want to
so
know.
a lot of people grew up with it.
But I want to know the specifics. I want to know like what was airing as well as Dragon Ball. You know, what time was it airing? So then you can really understand like why are people tuning? How has it had such a large impact there? You know,
I think it was also like the sort of like the struggle Goku had was a great motivator for a lot of people that were going through shit as kids.
Maybe.
And it was like this thing of like, oh fuck, we can be like Goku and like overcome our struggles and keep leveling up.
Maybe. But I just love to go there and figure it out. But anyway,
It would be sick.
anyway,
Yeah.
the context to why I said that is because now you can bring up this post.
Okay, yeah. So the post is I hate when Instagram does this shit, man.
Yeah, they just
You pull up
back
a saved
main
post,
page.
yeah, and then it just kicks you. Stupid fucking app.
Jesus, that was
So-
that was so
Yeah, I
that
know,
was so charged.
That was hate. That was hate from the heart. The post is: Did you know that Dragon Ball Super had Mexican strip clubs offering free lap dances if Goku beat Jiren?
The fucking impact, and it's crazy because it was a fucking given that was gonna happen. It was a given that was gonna happen, and they were
fucking-
offering that shit, bro.
The fucking poster for the strip club. Go
gotta pull
boom
it
up
up.
with
gotta pull up for
I'll
them.
put it there. But
Let's just take a look at this poster.
yeah, this is fucking
I don't know if this is real, but we're gonna assume that it is for the sake of the content.
yeah.
Capitulo 130. That's probably the name of the strip club.
Yeah.
And they're saying it presents premier men's sports bar. It's a men's sports bar that was probably streaming the finale or the finale of the Tournament of Power.
Mm-hmm.
And they probably had a woman on fucking standby to give free lap dances. Can you believe that?
What does this even mean? Like, what is the scope of this?
But that just think about the generational impact it's had.
So anyone that goes to that strip club after Goku beats Jiren gets a free lap dance?
It must have been that.
Is that what it means?
It must have been, yeah.
Bro, these women just I'm just thinking from the strippers' perspective.
It must be so
They're
much
not
work.
even locked into
Yeah.
Dragon Ball. They're like, but why?
But
I don't get any money for
but
this?
the thing is, maybe it's on the bar, so the bar is paying the strippers.
I doubt that shit.
But maybe that's how large of an impact Dragon Ball Z has.
They
The
were
fact-
willing to
at which
fork over money to the strippers
to celebrate a
to celebrate
monumental
a
event.
thing that was guaranteed to happen.
Yeah, but the thing is, maybe
Yeah.
with Dragon Ball, there was a level of intrigue for within the tournament power that Goku wasn't gonna win.
Okay,
You know?
I see.
And when they made him winning quite large and grand and everything, but I think there was an element for a while that Jiren was so strong. He
Yeah.
was so strong in that kind of period of time that you didn't think Goku was gonna win.
But
You
like,
yes, at the end of the
realistically.
day, Goku always wins.
Yeah.
However, in the past, they have sort of gone through its storylines where Goku lost.
yes.
And you had to rely on the other Z fighters.
yeah.
And there was like spoilers for Dragon Ball Super. You guys should have watched it by now if you're into the anime. But at the end, the very last person remaining was Android 17. So there was a chance Android 17 could have gone and beat Jiren, and Goku and Frieza, who were the two people who beat Jiren, didn't do it.
Right.
So there was a chance he wouldn't have won. So
Okay.
however,
So there was fake stake.
However, I still think this was a guaranteed
Yeah.
because they would have released. I don't know whether they were streaming the sub or the dub, but there would have been no way to watch the sub.
Yeah.
I think unless they had Toei Animation had partnered with Crunchyroll, there would have been no way to watch the sub legally. So they would have had to illegally stream it.
Yeah.
Which I don't think a bar would do. However,
What do you
it is-
mean?
It is a strip club.
Of course
So,
they
yeah,
do that.
I don't
shit.
know. So yeah,
Yeah.
This could be very real. You know,
That is diabolical. That is
I
diabolical.
wish I could have.
You just
No,
yeah.
not been there. I just wish I could have like the scenes there.
Mm.
I don't think I'd want to lap dance myself, but
Yeah.
the scenes there would
I
have been
think
crazy.
Yeah, bro.
Guys cheering and then just like.
I wonder if it was comparable to
fucking-
like motherfuckers watching the Minecraft movie. You seen clips of
yeah,
that?
yeah, the chicken juggy.
The
or something.
chicken fucking bro. Endgame didn't have as much hype as Minecraft movies.
But it's
happening.
just people like younger
Sure, it's
people
memeing.
going in and just memeing the
yeah,
thing,
for
you know?
sure, for sure. But still,
Dude, I can just imagine like a drug cartel leader
Yeah.
coming in and everyone just going silent. Like, oh fuck.
he's just standing
arrived.
at
Yeah.
the door while the fucking thing is streaming
Exactly.
on a big
And
screen.
he's just watching it.
Yeah,
And then as soon as Goku and Frieza beat Jiren,
yeah.
he just cheers. He completely breaks characters. Starts
Everyone
throwing
just
money
starts shooting
everywhere.
up the fucking
Yeah.
building.
Hey,
let's
they start
go.
getting champagne out going.
Oh
Start
my
slapping
God.
his strippers' asses and shit.
He was the one that sponsored this event. Like, it's on him. Free lap dance for everyone.
Yeah, that's like the one day all like gang members
Yeah, they
come
put
and
their
have
differences
peace, like
aside.
a peace treaty just
Yo.
to watch this episode of Dragon
No,
Ball.
apparently that was the case where gang violence went down on days Dragon Ball released. That was an actual trend.
That is so beautiful if it's true.
Like people just they were like, nah, fuck killing each other. I want to go watch this new
That's
episode. That
so
dropped.
beautiful if it's true.
Yeah.
You know, and that
I'm not-
brings
well-
me on to another topic I want to speak about after. But anyway,
I'm not
yeah.
saying they came together.
Yeah,
They just
they weren't. Yeah, they weren't.
just
shooting-
weren't
yeah, they weren't
engaging.
killing each other, which
Yeah.
is still like
It is.
a big step in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
To think that
I think in
En-
anime, of all things.
entertainment.
Yeah.
That is the main thing here. Entertainment brings us together.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Because there's been many examples. I can't put my finger on it, but I've heard another example like that in the past where
Yeah.
some sort of media has dropped rates of violence in a particular area.
I
You
think
know?
when they were streaming 9/11.
I don't think it was that. I think you just have some weird obsession with these jokes. Like it's just like you be like itching to make these motherfucking references. I swear.
Oh no, but yeah, I'm sure there are shows out there.
I'm sure
fucking-
maybe around that time, maybe the
Yeah.
world did just go quiet.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
But
it brought everyone together.
that was everybody. That wasn't specifically.
yeah, exactly. So what's more impactful? You know what I'm saying?
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but Dragon Ball, the impact
goated.
it's had is it's
Goated.
beautiful, man.
And can you believe this man barely even watched it?
What do you mean? I watched all of Dragon Ball. You haven't watched Dragon Ball?
You watched all of Dragon Ball?
Yeah.
This guy told me, you know what? I never really watched and this. See,
No, I
this
said I never watched
This
Super.
brings me back to my fucking point about your dumbass.
Yeah.
When something is popular, you don't want to associate with yourself.
do you mean?
Yourself with it because you know what you want to do. You know what you want to do.
Yeah.
You want to be the cool guy.
Dragon Ball isn't even popular like that.
It was, bro.
Was back in the day. And
Yeah.
I watched it back in the day.
Dragon Ball Z.
yeah.
Shut your ass.
Bro, I
You
watched
literally
it as a
told-
kid.
You literally told me like, you know, I never really watched Dragon Ball Z. I remember you saying these words
When the
verbatim.
fuck did I ever? I said
This
I never really watched
is
Dragon Ball Super.
exactly like the Black
Nope.
Mirror episode we watched yesterday,
Nope.
bro.
No.
You got some quantum computer ass
Then-
shit, and you're trying to gaslight me right now.
No. Bro, we bonded over Dragon Ball Z. What are you even talking about?
When did we? I just, you know what? Because recently you told me I never really was with Dragon Ball Z. I just thought all of those moments were
Bro,
a lie.
I literally never said that.
Bro,
I never said
do you know
that.
what actually hit me? Because I was like, we
Yeah.
bonded over Dragon Ball Z, meaning you just appeased to me. You never watched it yourself.
No,
when you
how
told
do-
me, you literally told me a few days,
Yeah.
like not a few days ago, but like in the last few months, you've told me that I was never really a Dragon Ball Z kind of guy. You know,
No, I never said that.
you definitely did.
I never said that. I said for Super, I definitely said that because I didn't watch. I haven't watched any of Super.
yeah.
But for Z, I've watched all of Z. I watched GT. I watched Dragon Ball.
You watched GT?
Yeah.
Crazy. Okay, fair enough.
Well, not the whole way through. I
didn't
watched
watch
it
whole
here
way.
and
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I watched like a third of it, I think.
I stopped watching it when I realized it wasn't canon, and I was like, "Well, why am
That's
I wasting
crazy.
time doing?"
I
watching this
think I
shit?
stopped watching it because the storyline got hella fucking complicated and boring for me.
It was
like-
pretty boring.
Goku was a kid for too long and stuff. But
Yeah,
that's why I think with Daima they've really they really did a paid homage to the story well.
Yeah.
Anyway, crazy because all right, fair. Maybe I misread.
yeah.
I
Well,
don't know.
I must have said like after Z, I didn't really keep up with Dragon Ball. Like
I
that.
see.
Like I wasn't
because
I wasn't a
remember
fan
hearing-
about where it went.
I remember you saying I wasn't big on Dragon Ball Z growing up. I was like, what?
That's no.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
Okay, fair.
yeah.
I mean, I guess I'm wrong.
I mean, when
But-
when Z ended, I stopped like engaging with Dragon Ball content.
Z was a generational moment, man.
Yeah.
I remember. I have such fond memories of watching
Like
Z.
Cell Games, fucking Buu Saga, all of
God,
those were
bro.
fucking the
Bro.
goated
My
era of
favorite,
anime.
my favorite ever, just episode run in
Yeah.
anime. Full stop.
Yeah.
It will be Gohan and Cell having a fight when he goes Super Saiyan 2.
That is beautiful.
I will never forget that. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan will by far be my absolute favorite character.
Mm.
If any Dragon Ball game has Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, I'm always gonna be playing him. I love that character.
That guy was metal as hell.
Yeah.
He
bro.
he fucking
had the-
went through so much
Literally.
to get there, and then the joint Kamehameha.
And I completely understand. I think that was a catalyst to him
Just
wanting
being
to
like-
become a scholar.
Yeah.
Because he's like, yeah, I'm not doing this shit no
enough
more,
of
you know?
this. Enough of
he,
that.
he he did fight throughout Dragon Ball Z, but then after that in Super, he kind of took a less important role.
And he just
went
wanted to be
study.
a dad.
Yeah.
Although
Which-
I don't know, he's not really doing much.
I mean, he's doing more than Goku did.
That's true.
So
That's true. He's brought down the fucking generational trauma. a bit.
yeah, for real. So
Yeah,
but
man.
the Dragon Ball's impact has
Yeah, you can
It's
see
worldwide,
how far
man. You
it's
can see,
in
yeah.
strip clubs.
yeah,
Bro, when is the last time you've heard of free lap dances in a
literally
strip club?
free.
Like
Bro, free.
they operate on people being horny and generous donors.
Exactly.
And to give it up for fucking
And
a fight that was guaranteed.
I'm wondering, some guy who probably never goes to a strip club
Yeah, he
saw this
hit
event
that shit up.
and he went and he had the best time of his life.
He did one of those, like, you know how when you go to get free samples again,
Yeah.
you try and be a different person. He gets a free lap dance, goes out,
He goes out,
changes-
wears a wig, comes
changes
back
outfit.
in. He comes in as a stripper. He's like, "Fuck it, let me have a different experience."
Man, how many people do you think like got lap dances dressed as Goku?
They came in with a wig.
Yeah,
I don't
or,
think that
or
was
at least
going
the
on.
outfit.
I don't think that was going on
No?
for real. I think they were just maybe though. I don't know.
They go could to
'Cause
watch.
I
the fight.
reckon there were people there were strippers dressed as Bulma, for sure.
Well, what is she dressed like? I mean, she just
But the you know that in the post we saw Bulma's little bunny kind of
Yeah,
outfit.
oh, right.
For sure, something like that.
yeah,
was
yeah,
going
yeah.
on.
Of course.
If it's real,
Yeah.
this is another.
No,
topic
see
I
now we
wanted
need to
touch
like
on,
we need to go look at this strip club's website,
yeah.
see what the aesthetic is, and then we'd be better able to gauge
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
how much of this is true. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Because the thing is, you
Like
see
if
it-
this looks too bougie of a strip club, I'm hesitant to believe they did this shit. In fact, you know
Yeah.
what? Did you check the comment section?
I did. People were just taking a piss. So,
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
but we can have a look.
Nobody
you'll-
like verified or was like, I was there.
Nah.
Yeah, I guess nobody would admit to that.
I mean,
Being
if
at
it was
a-
a monumental event like this, maybe they would.
Yeah, people just do they not understand plot armor? So the club read the manga? What is bro? Is new episodes of Dragon Ball Z here yet? Bro, the show's ended. King Kai died for this. Why we didn't born in Mexico?
That's crazy. Why is it all people?
Some guy replied to him saying, "Right? I'm Mexican American and I wish I was born in Mexico so I can enjoy the strip clubs and parties and lap dances."
That sounds like a 40-year-old man.
what
That
the
sounds like a
fuck?
40-year-old man.
Someone replied to that guy saying, "Cause you were meant to die in a school shooting."
Nah, this is what's wrong with it. This is no, bro. I swear to
They-
God,
they
this is
won't let
every
anyone have a good time.
every Instagram comment section is like this, bro. Anytime you see like a positive comment, then you see like 20, 30 replies underneath there, you
Yeah.
know someone's starting an argument.
This is just
It's
two
just-
replies.
yeah,
This is two
that's
replies.
crazy, too.
Guy just agreeing with the first comment, second guy being like, "Yeah, because you were born to die in a school shooting." Oh,
That dude's having a bad day. You know it.
he's just out here being villain, bro.
That's crazy.
He's ruining people's days.
Imagine being that fucking upset.
Nobody
yo.
can stay happy.
that
if he's not
upset
happy.
that just how your day's going,
Yeah.
or how your life's going. That you're like,
Yeah.
no, this random guy on the internet just
Yeah.
celebrating. The fact
I mean, Loki is
I mean,
funny as hell.
that guy was being weird anyway.
Yeah.
Like he sounded like a robot, low key. But
Right? I wish I was
would
born
like-
in Mexico so I could go to lap dances, parties, and strip clubs.
why you make a list? Why you make a list out of it?
That's
for
it.
real?
It's just those three things
Yeah.
he wishes he was born in Mexico for.
But
Nothing
that's
else.
but when you're talking about strip clubs,
Yeah,
you don't list things out like that. You know,
exactly. No, he's
lap
a kid.
dances.
This is a kid. He
You know,
probably had to hop on a
trying to-
GTA to
yeah.
find the right words for it. He's like, "Oh, what is this? What is this place
you,
called?"
You just say like, oh yeah, I don't know. I feel like if you were gonna go to a strip club, it's like, hey, we're gonna hit the strip club.
Yeah,
We're gonna throw some ones or something.
Yeah.
He's like, I wish I could.
I wish I was born here so I could go to parties, lap dances, and strip
Parties,
clubs.
lap dances, strip clubs, strippers, if I do say
Alcohol.
so. Maybe engage in some drugs, some hardcore ones, cocaine,
Perhaps talk to a fine young maiden.
or as the young ones call it, fine shit.
Nah, you were meant to die in a school shooting, bro. Shut up.
But I do want to sort of neatly go into another topic that I was thinking of just as we were discussing just the general Instagram posts.
Okay.
I feel like I want to know what it feels like for a person to make a post like this, for it to go viral, and for there to be for them to know that I've just spread misinformation. You know,
Mm.
I wonder what that feeling's like. Not in a way of like, oh, I want to do it. Just you must feel so powerful in that moment.
Wait, so they know they're spreading misinformation.
Yeah, like in reality, all we've really seen and all you've really seen is a post where someone's written something in bold handwriting and a bold font, and they could have easily just made a graphic on fucking Photoshop. That shit is not that difficult, and just posted it on Instagram and said, "Oh, this strip club did free lap dances."
Yeah,
for you know, they could have just done that.
I mean, if you really look into it, this is just a prank. If it was fake,
I mean, yeah, but if you think about it,
So-
you're pranking so many people
yeah,
to the point at which they're going through their life thinking this is real. They like that misinformation is so it's crazy, but it's to the point where you just go on Instagram. You could look
see
at
it
a
all the
post.
time, bro.
You could look at a post, take it for face value, and there you go. You've been misinformed. How? If you just imagine this is just a teenager sitting in their room. They're just like they're bored.
Yeah,
So they make this shit up, make a graphic or whatever, post it online on their fucking meme page.
yeah.
And what's that feeling like?
What I'm
You know?
picturing is like some guy that's having this discussion with his friends, and he just says something. He was like, yeah. That one time there was a strip club in Mexico that actually gave free lap dances for the Goku Jiren fight. And his friend's like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
And then he's like, no. I'll link you a post. He goes home, just makes a post.
It goes viral, and
He's like, yeah, there you go, bro. It's real.
like I wanna just have people on
Yeah.
who have successfully spread misinformation, and I just want them to tell us how they feel. What was
think
going
it-
through their head?
It's probably like a huge dopamine hit if
It
their
must be.
intention was to spread misinformation.
because people do it in comment section so much. They'll
Yeah.
write a comment, and then most people will not look at the replies.
Yes.
but in the
In
reply,
the very
will-
next
they'll
comment,
be
it's
like,
like,
"I love spreading
Yeah.
misinformation." I'm like, what?
oh my God.
It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I feel like it's like when you successfully prank someone.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the type of misinformation you're spreading that matters.
Yeah,
This is harmless.
It
Like,
is.
This is just gonna make you look stupid if you quote it and say to someone and they're like, that never happened, bro.
Yeah, it is. But if you think about how deep it goes,
Yeah.
it ranges from something like a Dragon Ball Z lap dances at a strip club
Yeah.
to COVID is making you infertile.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's the stretch.
Bro, like I saw, you know Dr. Curran.
Yeah.
He made a video.
the AI.
They
Dude.
deep faked him to promote a product, like a medical product.
And if you weren't actually looking out for AI, like whenever I'm on Instagram,
yeah.
if something doesn't sound real or doesn't like seem possible that someone's saying it, I'll
Yeah.
immediately be like, is this AI?
Mhm.
Like, but if for most people, they're probably not thinking that.
Yeah.
So if you're just watching a video and your favorite healthcare influencer who really prides himself on like not
Educating
misinforming,
people.
educating people, is promoting a product, you're gonna want to buy that product.
Yeah. But no, you like
Wild.
it's not even the point of like getting to the point of buying the product. You could just believe that information and like take it to heart. Like I think he was talking about cortisol levels affecting hair growth, and that if you take this kind of pill, it can reverse hair fall.
Yeah.
So for people suffering from that would listen to this shit and be like, oh, so it wasn't actually all of the other stuff that I've known
Yeah.
research has substantiated. It must be my cortisol level.
Yeah. So
And then you go and maybe you don't buy the product they're advertising, you try something else. And now you're fucking up your body because you never had anything wrong with you in the first
Well,
place.
cortisol is stress, isn't it? So
Yes.
like, I don't know whether people can fuck up their body trying to deal with the
I
stress
mean,
levels,
if,
but
if they don't have high levels of cortisol, I'm sure whatever drug there is to reduce it, maybe there are
maybe there
harmful
are
effects. I
side
don't know.
effects. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy, and like you can't even do anything about it.
Exactly. You
Apart
just
from-
have
you
to
can-
call it
you-
out and
yeah.
recognize it.
Or you can report it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
which is an incredibly scary thing now.
And it's
that
wild,
we've gotten
like-
to that stage.
He tried contacting the account that was posting
Mm-hmm.
it, they just blocked him.
That's crazy.
And it's
So
like,
the fact they can just do that. Is
yeah, exactly.
wild.
And they can just continue doing it until, well, whatever, they get
Yeah.
caught. And if they get caught, they shut down that account, they make a new account.
And they just started it up again.
But
yeah.
it doesn't reverse the damage
Yeah.
they've already done with
And,
the audience they've
yeah.
reached.
To wrap off the episode, I think we would bring back an old segment that we haven't brought back on video ever. You know, we haven't done this in a while.
Well, MYT
MYT artifacts,
baby.
Dugga, 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 dugga.
Let's go. Okay. So you're feeling in the mood for a little.
Listen, I was thinking,
wordplay.
we've only got 52 minutes of content. If
wordplay.
if something doesn't seem interesting early in the episode, we cut that out and bring this in. You know? Let's do that.
Let's go. For those of you that don't know,
Yes, let's
this
give them a
is
breakdown.
this is a segment we did in audio where we pull up random word generator and we assign ourselves a word each, and we just got to come up with a story for the origin of the word. Essentially,
Basically, very
simple concept.
basic terms. Yeah.
Yeah, we just got to come up with a way. How did this word come about? Where did it come from? All right, your word is arch.
Okay, fine.
My word is commerce.
Bro, you're
I'm
fucked.
fucked. I'm so cooked.
You're
man.
fucked. And we got to make this more successant as well.
Yes.
Because we
drag
did-
this shit a lot.
When we did on audio, it would drag on. But
Yeah.
This is okay.
This one we're not at liberty to
Alright.
cut like we used to with audio. So
Yes.
this
Okay.
has to be a one take thing.
Okay, fine. We're gonna need some time to think. 'Cause
Yes.
I really need to structure this story well.
Yes. So we'll take a moment and then we'll cut back to when we're fucking
Yeah.
ready.
Arch. So, we're gonna go back to pirate times.
Pirate time.
Yeah.
Let's
So
go, booty.
I don't know what year that was. Maybe the 1700s. Sure. Fuck it. Let's say that 1700s pirate. Back when being a pirate was
You
all
played
the-
Black Flag. You should know.
all the rage. I don't fucking remember that shit.
Bro, you said that's your
For
favorite,
context,
favorite Assassin's
yes,
Creed game.
I played that game when I was
15?
that was one of the first games I got when I got my PlayStation 4 back in 2013.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm
you're
25 now.
You're 14.
Yeah. I 100% of that game when I was 14. I don't remember, but it was my favorite Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sorry, go on.
anyway,
Pirate booty times.
pirate, you know? So you go back to a tale of a pirate who wasn't very well known in the land, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Pirate
I have a feeling where this is going, but okay.
Pirate Green Pickle. Now, Pirate Green Pickle, he was a captain of a very small ship. The ship he didn't get. It wasn't the best ship, you know. It was a bit run down. He bought it secondhand. The guy who bought the ship from was a bit shady, you know. He didn't even provide any MOT history. It was kind of fucked up. But Mr. Green Pickle, he wanted to be a pirate so bad, so he took this ship. He's like, we can build it up, you know. He took this ship and he had a crew with him, you know. He hired some misfits and a small crew. Over the years, he became a little bit more well known in the area, and he was well known because he would frequent pirate strip clubs a lot. Okay.
Oh, callback.
Yeah, pirate strip clubs. He'd frequent them quite a lot. So there was this one time he went to a pirate strip club, whatever you call them in those areas, and he met a woman, you know, and she was a stripper, and he was so enamored by this woman. He was so infatuated by her. So he goes up to her. He starts talking to her. They hit it off. He frequents that strip club quite often from that day forward. It's every time he'd stop by the island where he would take his ship.
Hmm.
He'd stop by that strip club a lot, and he'd always talk to this woman. Now things get a little bit more sexual with these two, you know,
Oh, okay.
and they also start to develop feelings with each other.
Mhm.
So uh he asks her, "Hey,
Yeah.
don't go on this damn ship. Like, don't go on this damn to this damn ship club anymore.
Uh-huh.
Come to my ship with me. Be a part of my crew."
Okay.
She agrees, and they escape together.
Mhm.
So one night, Green Pickle's just sitting down on his bed, and he's like, "I've done so much with my life, but I've got this ship now. I'm well known locally, but I feel like I've not made an impact. You know, Blackbeard's out here murdering civilians. He's out here making a name for himself. But me, Green Pickle, I'm only known in the general peninsula area. You know, I'm not
Mhm.
known in like the greater Pacific Ocean.
Yes. Yes.
you know,
Of course. Yeah.
I'm not known that. So
Yes. The peninsula.
how do, how do I become more well known?" And his girlfriend, we'll call her Petulia, who escaped.
Sure, yeah, the strip club, yeah.
Yes, Petulia. This is a very long story.
This
but I
is, yeah.
promise it has a point. Petulia was like, "Oh, Green Pickle, just forget about it and fuck me." Okay,
Mm.
so Green Pickle was like, "Damn girl, okay."
Okay.
Damn girl, okay. And then she's and Petulia's trying to try some new shit, you know. Back then doggy wasn't really a thing, so
Yep. Yep.
she gets, you already know.
As soon as you said pirate, I was like, "Ah, God, I know where this is going."
So Petulia is like damn, like she's trying some new shit. So she gets into doggy position and she kind of bends her back. Now, Green Pickle has never seen a woman in this position before. He don't
Yeah.
even know what to do with all that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
He don't know what to do with that. So he tries to, you know, stick it in, but he gets the angle wrong.
Mm.
Now, they're obviously pirates, so they speak in pirate tongue.
Yes.
You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
he gets the angle wrong, and then she's like, "Arch!" And Green Pickle's obviously he's a bit taken aback. What's that noise? You know?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, are you hurt?" And she's like, "Yeah, it hurt a little bit. Maybe try putting in a different way." So he tries a different way. She's like, "Arch!" And he's like, "Oh, what am I doing wrong?" So she guides him, and he puts it in properly.
Okay.
And he has the best orgasm of his life.
Mm.
Because I guess, you know,
Yeah.
and he's like,
She good.
yeah, he's like, "Baby, you gotta do this position with me more often." And so, you know, that becomes a position that they do quite often. However, there's no word for it.
Mm.
There's no word for it. And he's sitting here wondering, like, this amazing position, it needs to be known throughout the land. We need to give it a name, and we need to tell people about it. Wait a second. Didn't other people might make the same mistake as me? They might put it in the wrong way and hurt their partners. We got to make them aware.
Mm.
So let's call the position arch, because sorry, my bad. You bend the way you bend your back. We'll call that the arch, and we'll advertise the position to other people. And when they ask why, whenever we're sort of sailing and going on our adventures, we'll tell them it's called arch because of the bend, but also because you need to be wary of where you put your dick. And from that day onwards, arch became the you know, the way that you sort of arch your back when you're fucking in doggy. You know, it became that. It became known throughout the land. However, throughout as language developed, architects picked up the word and they said, arch. oh, arch is when your body goes like this. Wait, an arch can also be like this. With buildings. Buildings have arches. Maybe we can use it in that sense too. And they start using an architect, and as time evolved, people used it in like different senses, and you know how language evolves, and now it's the word that we use today, arch. There we go. The end. Fuck me. I gave you a whole backstory, bro.
We did not need to know about Picklebeard and his food. He could have just gone straight to fucking.
Yeah, I know, but maybe you can cut that shit out. But
you need to make a name for himself.
Yeah,
Where did that go?
Well, that's the reason he thought about the word. Like that's the context, bro. Please, like we got to leave that entire thing in there.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be short, and then I was like, "Fuck, I got to give this man a backs." Yeah. Anyway, you go for yours. Yeah, go do your commerce shit. Like,
all right. Okay, so we are going back to the time the Silk Road was active.
What's the Silk Road?
The Silk Route is basically
Silk Route
is like the trade route connecting China all the way through Asia to Europe. So back when that was still an active trade route, there were a lot of international merchants out and about, interacting with each other.
Yeah.
So it's set in that time, and there's a young boy from China who basically deals with cow dung. Cow dung used to be used as fuel.
Okay.
Cow poop. Yeah.
All right. Damn, this guy going technical with it.
Yeah. So him and his grandpa used to have a business where they would just collect, because they had a farm, they would collect a lot of cow poop and sell it to different people. And so they dealt with this business a lot, but with the invention of the Silk Route and that growing in popularity, they started dealing with a lot of international customers that obviously didn't speak Chinese or didn't even know anything close to Chinese. So they would obviously have to communicate in a different way. So since he was young, his granddad was like, yo, go out, try and learn the language so it's easier for us to deal and make new business deals. So he goes out, starts speaking to new merchants, starts picking up words and language. And he realizes English is a very common ground for a lot of merchants. So he starts picking up English words. But he's obviously not very good at it. So, yeah. So he's not very good at it, but he's learning. So eventually he meets up with a big businessman who is in need of a lot of cow dung for his fuel, for fueling his business or factories or whatever.
Yeah.
And so he approaches the young boy in one of the markets. And then the guy is obviously advertising the cow dung business in Chinese. But the merchant, the British man, sees that he's selling cow dung, and he approaches the young guy, and he's like, he always speaks in English. He's like, oh, what exactly are you selling? What's the price? And the guy obviously doesn't really know what to say. So he kind of like hesitates, and he's like, I don't know. Like he's obviously thinking to himself, and he hears the word "come" a lot. Like, because people are advertising stuff, they're like, come here.
Yeah.
And he knows like the word for ground is earth.
Yeah.
Right. So he's like, okay, I have to somehow describe this thing.
Oh, right.
So he's like, come earth.
Okay.
Yeah. So because he's like pointing at the cows.
Yeah.
And he's like, come earth. Like the poop is coming out. Like that's what he's selling.
Yeah.
And the guy, the British businessman, struggles for a bit, but he's like, oh, okay, you're selling cow dung, of course. Yes, I would like to deal with, and they like start discussing prices, and he sets up a business deal. So obviously the young kid has got positive affirmation from saying this. He's like, okay, great. Like this can communicate what I'm trying to sell. So if anyone does come by that is foreign, I can just say this and they'll understand what I'm trying to say. So slowly, obviously, their business is booming. the British guy goes and tells his other contacts, they're like, yo, these people have great prices, go hit them up.
Yeah.
So more and more people start coming.
Yeah.
And obviously he just keeps saying, come earth.
Yeah.
And it just becomes a very common word amongst people.
Yeah.
And they just start referring to the thing that he's selling as like, oh, it's some special come earth. I think it must be a special type of cow dung that they're selling us.
Yeah.
That's why it's so popular. And slowly the word starts spreading, and because Silk Route is still like it was an active trade route, the word just got picked up by everyone. And this guy obviously grew up, handled the business, grew old, but the word "com earth" slowly got melded because of the English language. They found it hard to pronounce, so they made consonants sound closer to whatever English people use.
Yeah.
And from "com earth" it became "commer" and then "commerce."
Yeah.
And then slowly it just became a common word for people to deal with each other as a business, rather than it meaning cow dung. Because obviously cow dung went out of fashion.
That shit was so believable. I would have been like, damn, bro, like for real.
Really?
That shit was believable as hell. I was feeling like, yeah, it makes sense. Well, yeah, checks out, honestly. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
like,
that makes sense.
yeah, this guy, bro, that might be the most realistic story you ever told me,
Fuck,
bro.
no,
Like,
I wanted to.
that was a great story, bro.
Wow,
Like,
thank you.
I was actually hooked on that story, for real. My shit was ass for compared to yours, bro.
Well, there you have it. The invention
Fucking
of two
art.
iconic words.
Yes.
That you use in everyday language: commerce and arch.
And on that note, I'd like to say thank you for listening.
Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed the episode.
We hope you enjoyed this segment.
Yeah, it's a comeback. It was
There's
let us know. Let
It
us
was a
know.
semi-fan favorite. We heard positive stuff about
Yes,
it.
we did,
so-
but we also made our stories very short back then.
Yes.
Shorter.
The power of editing.
Yeah, shorter. And then as time progressed, we kind of they got longer and longer, and now we're here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Some of the long ones were justified
They were
because
good,
the setup was so much. It was
bro,
worth it. You know?
Some of my stories.
Some
were
of yours were goated.
They're cooking. I was
Go
cooking with that.
back and listen to some of our older episodes.
The Frenchman.
Yeah.
That one was a goated story.
Yeah, that was good.
But yeah, no, if you like the episode, subscribe, please.
Yes.
Put notification bell on, like the video, comment, do whatever you like.
We told them everything they need to do, and then you're like, yeah, do whatever.
Yeah, do what you want.
Any extra stuff you want.
There, right here, you're gonna see a link to our channel and a link to the playlist for the rest of our podcast episodes. Please check that out. If you want to connect with us on socials, follow us on X, TikTok, and Instagram at the MYT Pod. Or if you want to listen on audio, we're available on all your favorite podcast streaming platforms at the MYT Podcast. So if you just search that up, you'll find it. Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Thanks for tuning in. See ya.